My name's Brock. I'm here today to show you guys a few tricks to keep your bike running smooth that takes very minimal cost. These are the tools that I'm going to be using for the whole process of the video. First thing you do is clean the bike. It's very important to clean the bike. First thing I'm going to show you today, after we're done cleaning the bike, is we're going to go through a little chain care. First, we're going to take some degreaser and we're going to apply it to the chain. But why we do this, you'd say, why degreaser? Well, we're going to remove the old crap before we put on new good stuff. So here we're going to lay a shop rag out there. We're going to get the spray, and we are going to avoid spraying the caliper on the other side. Very important. Why we do this, we're going to spray lightly and pedal the bike. Make sure the rag's in the right spot. Oh yeah. Also use a small toothbrush and really get in that chain. Do all the cogs. Nice and good. And make sure you continue to do all the cogs in the chain. And it's also important to do the other side as well. Then we're going to do a little cleaning here to remove the degreaser. You notice the degreaser's coming off nicely. Oh yes, see how nice and shiny that is now. I also want to make sure we get the front tooth as well. Make sure you get all the in-between stuff. It's very important to keep this degreaser free. Obviously we're going to want to add some lubricant to our chain. Perfect. Our chain is now nice, clean, and degreased. It's also important to make sure you clean off the derailleur without it moving any screws. So use the rag with a screwdriver to get in those hard to reach spots. Get the crap out. Okay. Now that our chain is clean, we're going to make sure all the gears shift. We're going to pedal the bike and shift. We'll start in the lowest gear. Make sure it looks and sounds good. Give it a click. Okay, another click. Oh, we have a little issue there. Can you hear that? When this happens, we have to turn the limiting screw. And to fix this click, we have to tighten the cable by counterclockwise turning the lever adjustment up top. There it goes, see? Perfect. Now, while we wait for the degreaser to fully evaporate off the bike before we clean the chain again and re-lube, we'll also check the brake calipers. In order to do this, we're going to have to turn the bike around. Now that the bike is turned around, we're going to go ahead and clean brake calipers. To do this, it's important to use a nice, clean towel. Don't use a dirty rag. You got to make sure it's fairly clean. I actually have brake parts cleaner, which I solidly support using. I take my rag here, Spray a little brake parts cleaner on it like so. And then give the rotor a nice cleaning. Of course, bikes that don't have these rotors, they have rubber brakes, and the goal there is to make sure those rubber brakes stay right, straight, and level. And change it when you need to. Make sure you rotate it to get the whole rim, or the whole rotor. You see that crap that comes off there. We will do the same to the back, the rear of the bike. Again, using brake parts cleaner. And we'll go ahead and give her a spin. Oh, that was a really dirty one. This is also helpful if your brakes are squeaking when you press the brake lever. Now that we got the bike cleaned up for the most part, the next check that I personally like to do is I like to go ahead and give my spokes a little wiggle. See if any of them are loose or any of them feel different. That one's kind of loose. Feel that. They should move with a little pressure, but you don't want them so loose that they just wiggle freely. This is a brand new rim, so I don't want to go too overboard and change anything too much until it gets a little bit more worn. I'll be using a spoke wrench. This is a 2. This goes on the spoke nipple. It goes on the spoke, the actual spoke nipple up top. And then you just give it a little half turn. Takes care of the problem right away. Cheap tool, easy to find. We did the front, or the back, now we're going to take care of the front. Everything looks good. The next thing that's important to do after you get everything nice and cleaned up is to check air pressure. It's important to know that on the tire somewhere it will locate the air pressure. This one is 30 to 60 psi. I like to run mine closer to 45 than 60. 60 is a little dramatic. So we'll go ahead and check. I'm only at a 32. So I'm going to go ahead and get the air pump. You can also use any air pump that most gas stations offer, and that'll give you the air you need. So I'm going to go ahead and use my air pump. Alright, back up to 40 psi. Perfect. Go up here to the front. Again, I like to keep mine at 40. You gotta make sure you have the same tires, and this one does not. Ooh, only got 31 pounds in there. Like I said, I like mine to be at 40. There's a gauge here, but I also like to double check with the other gauge. Let's do it right here. 42, that's perfect. I actually prefer 40 to 45. 40 is fine. 42 is fine. That will be great. Now that we got, now that we got the bike clean, tires are aired up, all we gotta do is lube the chain still. We're gonna go ahead and check, make sure the brakes are in working order, which seems to be, yes. Yes. It's also good to make sure the handlebar grips are tight. This one's actually a little loose. Get the Allen wrench out. Okay. Give that a little spin, not to over tighten, of course. The other one over here. Give that a little tighten. It's important to note that these are locking handlebar grips. There are other handlebar grips that are not locking. Mostly they don't have the ends. Those are usually stock grips that come with more entry-level bikes or also younger children's bikes. If I suggest anything, I would get locking grips. They're easy to take on and off. They're easy to change. They last very well and they work very well. Both of mine are very good type. That's awesome. And there you have it. That's some of the most basic mountain bike maintenance you can do to keep your bike in running good condition. If you have any other videos you'd like on upkeep or maintenance to a bike, comment below or comment on the YouTube channel, and I will get to creating something that you guys all want to watch. Otherwise, keep posted for trail videos all the time. Thanks.